Good evening and welcome to another episode of Business World. And today we'll be talking about tailoring as a small-scale business. I remain your regular anchor, Ihekoronye Goodness. Tailoring, as you all know, is a way in which clothing is made. Ever since creation, man has always been in need of tailors for a covering. But sadly enough, so many Nigerian indigenous tailors fail to utilize that business opportunity. But notwithstanding, tailoring has always changed the life of people and will continue to do the same to date. Before we take a walk down to the street to have a chat with a fashion designer, the CEO of Abolarin Heritage, let's have this commercial break.
Your power to change Nigeria is in your hands. Your vote now your power for change, oh my people, oh. It's not just the voters' card, it's your power to change Nigeria for good.
You can collect your permanent voters card previously at the local government office until January 31st.
Your power to change Nigeria is in your hands. Your vote now your power for change, oh my people, oh. It's not just the voters' card, it's your power to change Nigeria for good.
Collect your PVC, collect your PVC, collect your PVC,
Your power to change Nigeria is in your hands. Your vote now your power for change, oh my people. It's not just the voters' card, it's your power to change Nigeria for good.
Welcome back. And if you're just joining us on the show, and today we are talking about small-scale business, and we'll be discussing about tailoring. And to do justice with that, I have the CEO of Abolarin Heritage. And I have with me here Mrs. Abolarin Olaronke, the CEO of Abolarin Heritage. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. You are welcome.
I can see you're busy.
Very, very busy, as you can see.
Well done.
Thank you.
So let's start with what actually prompted you into venturing into this business?
Actually, doing this kind of thing needs an interest. You have to get your interest, know that you can do it, know that you have interest in doing it, because it is not something that is easy. It's not something that is meant for a lazy person. So if you didn't have interest, you cannot do it. So initially, I have interest to do it.
That's very, very interesting. When someone wants to venture into this business, how much will one expect to have at hand before venturing into it?
Actually, it's not something much. Like when I want to start, I started with a machine, a scissors, and a tape rule, and a basket, because you need to get some things to keep your things. You need machine. You can't sew without machine. So it's not something that is that much. At least if you want to start, you can start with a second-hand machine, which is not much, just to get it started. So you don't need something big.
Like you don't need something that is up to too expensive.
No, you don't need. Let's say we calculate machine. Maybe you are going for a new machine at the rate of 45,000, scissors and tape rule. I tell you, by the time you have 50,000 naira,
you are good to go. All right, that's very much interesting. So when can someone at the age of 5 or 6, 10 venture into these skills? Can someone learn it within that age bracket?
No.
Okay, so what age is expected?
You, at least, let me say 10 years. A girl or a boy of 10 years can be able to stand to machine, to pedal the machine at least. Because if you want to start like that, you should know how to pedal machine, as in wind the machine. So at the age of 10 to 11 years, you can start.
All right. Okay, still on this same question. Can someone at that same age bracket be going to school and as well as learning the skill?
Yes, it's quite possible, because where I learned, we have morning and evening section where some of these students, pupil, because they were still in primary school, they go to school in the morning, and in the afternoon they come to learn. So some of them, they will come to learn in the morning maybe 8 to 1 o'clock, and when it's 1 o'clock, they go back to school. So it's possible.
That's really interesting. So why doing the work? Does it have any side effects or any health implication, like when peddling and fixing the needles? Can someone actually get injured while doing it?
And to a starter, to a beginner, you can have some health challenges, not a serious one, because when you start, like winding machine, it's like starting an exercise. When you are doing like that, winding the machine, you can have maybe your legs paining you, your thigh paining you, and your back, because we bend most often we bend down to do this work. So maybe your neck and then your legs. And the only challenge that we used to have is because it's a sit down work, that you have to sit down for a very long time. Maybe you might be having back pain, and by the time you finish at the end of the day, just go and take maybe paracetamol to relieve you of that day stress.
How do you encourage those that want to actually venture into this business?
Actually, it is not something easy to do, but with your humility, like I said, you can make it. If you are humble, it takes an humble heart to come and learn. We cannot be waiting for government to help us, because things are much on government this, government that. The private sectors, they can put up an empowerment program whereby you ask people to come and learn, maybe for 2 or 3 months, and at the end of the day, you empower them.
Thank you so much, ma. Hope when next we call on you, you avail yourself.
By the grace of God. Thank you. You're welcome.
Lola is actually on the street to sample people's opinion on fashion, which we all know is the handwork of a tailor. Over to you, Lola.
Good evening, viewers. Presently, we are at Federal Polytechnic Bida at Big Gate. We are asking people of their views about fashion, what they know about fashion. And firstly, what does fashion mean? Fashion is a popular trend, that is the way you behave or the way you do something. So now, like what I'm putting on here, it's my own style of fashion. I prefer sewing. So let's go out there and know what people feels about fashion. What's your style of design?
Okay, native.
You love native?
Yeah.
You love native. Okay. So do you prefer giving your clothes to tailor to sew for you, or you prefer buying them ready-made from the market?
Okay, actually I'm a fashion designer, so I make my clothes myself.
What style of design do you like?
I prefer gown.
Gown. Okay. Do you prefer giving your clothes out to tailors to sew for you, or you prefer buying them already made?
I prefer buying them already made.
Okay, ma.
Already made dress.
Okay, ma. Thank you. Okay, ma. We are here to ask you about what's your sense of fashion. So my question is, what's your choice of design?
The choice of my design is as the English wear.
English wear. Okay. So do you prefer buying your clothes from the market, or you prefer giving your materials to the tailor to sew for you?
Yes, sometimes I do give tailors.
What style of design do you like?
Well, I prefer gown. I prefer native gown.
Okay, ma. So do you prefer giving your clothes out to the tailors, or you prefer going to the market and buying them ready-made?
No, I prefer giving to the tailors, because I think that now they are most trending sewings in which tailors are capable of bringing to existence. Instead of me going to the market and getting an already made one, I think giving to a tailor would be preferable, because I think most tailors now are coming up, and with that, when I give them and I tell them what I want, they will be able to give to me what I want.
Thank you, ma.
I love native so much.
Okay, so do you prefer giving your clothes out to tailors, or you prefer going to the market and buying them yourself?
Actually, I'm a fashion designer, so I like to sew the clothes to my own taste, because at times you go to the market and buy, and what you see in the market is not really what you really want, maybe in terms of the kind of materials. And if you're sewing it yourself, you can get the kind of quality material you want, sew the kind of style you want, and to your size.
Okay, ma, thank you. Now we've heard from a lot of people what they see fashion as and the style of design they want. Some people like already made, and some people like giving their materials to tailor to sew for them. That they like. Some people even like to sew themselves. The fashion designers we've spoken to, they like to sew this to their own taste. Yes, to their own taste and to the style they want. The question I'm leaving you with is, Do you like sewing or you like buying already made? I remain Olamide Olaronke.
Haven't heard from the people about their perception based on fashions, which most of them are of the opinion that they prefer ready-made clothes to locally made. But notwithstanding, all are the handwork of a tailor. Let's have a short feature on tailoring.
The service of a tailor is always needed because every day, every human being needs to wear new clothes either to attend occasions or just look good. Passion for sewing and wearing good clothes can turn Nigerians' indigenous tailors into making millions. How tailors can change their attitude and make millions of naira. Clothing is as old as man himself. The very first clothing that served as a covering was made by the designer, God himself. Ever since creation, man had always required the service of a tailor for covering. But sad to say, many Nigerian indigenous tailors has failed to utilize their business opportunities. Needles and thread over the years had changed the lives and continues to do same till date. The leading fashion designers, manufacturers of garments, textile experts are all concerned about a bunch of common things this year. Fashion season after season and year after year. These are the elements of fashion that combine together in the fashion design process to create spectacular garments and accessories. These elements consume their thoughts, discussions, and design boards. What are these important fashion elements? They are the color, the fabrics, the body shape, the silhouettes, the balance and rhythm, the design line, and the emphasis. Unity and proportion, dress detail and decorative design, the fabric prints and patterns.
Alright, having heard from our guest, from the pictures and from the voice pop, I think that those of us who are still thinking that venturing into this business requires a lot of capital has been clarified, and with your health not being tampered with. And to our youth out there who think that they'll sit back and wait for a white-collar job, why not get yourself involved in this business opportunity and make millions for yourself? And that brings us to the conclusion of this program. Please do make time to join us. Same time, same station next week. I remain your regular anchor, Goodness Ihekoronye.